put them in the coffin squad way.
It's real.
Crazy Ride Show, man. Tune in. Be lost. You hear me? If you ain't here, you done lost it. You must be all hosted. Yeah, squad.
Oh yeah.
It's a crazy ride show. Man, you know that we bustin'. Yeah.
Turn up, dog.
It's a crazy ride show. Hold up, you know that we bustin'. Yeah. It's a crazy ride show. Hold up, you know that we bustin'. Yeah.
Class of 08 is in the building right now. Stop playing with me, man. For real, man.
Yeah. It's a crazy ride show. Hold up, you know that we bustin'. Yeah. It's a crazy ride show. Hold up, you know that we bustin'. Yeah. Hold up, it's a crazy ride show. Man, you know that we bustin'. Yeah. With the topic discussions. Yeah. Yeah. Cause you know that we bustin'. Yeah. Yeah. Truck shop. Hold up, truck shop. Yeah. Hold up, truck shop. Yeah. Lake County, turn up, truck
Beth
shop.
Plummer, what up, Angela? What up? I can never say
Hold up,
his
show
name.
on truck shop. Lake County,
Angelique, what up? Kendra, what up? BG, what up? Carmella.
Truck shop. Lake County, hold up, truck shop.
Angie, what up?
Lake County, turn up, truck shop. Hold up, truck shop. Lake County, turn up, truck shop. I said truck shop.
Dashawn, what up, Fuller?
I said truck shop. Yeah. It's the crazy morning riot. We about to start a riot. It's a crazy morning riot. You ain't about it, nigga. What do you want about it? It's a crazy morning riot. We about to start a riot. It's a crazy morning riot. T-shot.
And I promise you, you ain't gonna come here and do nothing to me. Because you know why? In the name of Jesus Christ, no weapon formed against me shall prosper as long as I keep Jesus Christ in everything I do. Bring your bitch ass up here.
Yeah, that way.
Bring your bitch ass up here.
Yo, what's good, man? It's the boy Lowe's Crazy. Check there live. You already know it's a Crazy Ride Show. Shout out to Stay Dumb Fly Shot, the guy Desi Bando Bree. What's up? Got a very special guest in the building right now. Ladies and gentlemen, class of 2008, Lake County Commissioner, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Vance Wyatt is in the building. Did I say that right? I said it right. Yeah, absolutely. Some people be getting it twisted. You know what I'm saying?
We have two different titles, actually. So we're Lake County Commissioner, or Lake County Board members,
Yeah.
and then Lake County Forest Preserve Commissioners at the same time. So.
Oh, wow, that's dope. Y'all seen a meeting on TV, y'all talking about the Forest Preserve and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Okay, that's cool. So right now, I'll start off where you just were. You were commissioner on the Forest Park Board, and you shook that up and you made that, put that in tip-top shape, and congratulations on that, for real.
Thank you.
Because I think you did a good job as the young guy coming in.
Thank you. I appreciate
how
that.
difficult was that going into something as a younger guy and with a lot of people who's been there for a while? How difficult was that? Or was it difficult at all?
I mean, it definitely was difficult. I
Yeah.
mean, when I ran, I first ran in 2013, and when I ran, I pretty much was talking about the golf course, how they were losing money.
Right.
They threatened to sue me for bringing out what they said on their own budget.
Oh,
At that time, we had 3 commissioners that they equaled about 110 years worth on the board alone.
Uh-huh.
The park district is 110 years old this year.
Right.
So between 3 people, we had one guy was elected when my mom graduated from middle school, one guy was elected when my mom graduated from high school.
That's crazy.
And then one other person was elected when I was 6 years old. So
Are you serious?
we had a lot of people that were there for so many years that, you know, that's the majority of the board is 3 people.
That's crazy.
So
That's crazy.
after so long, you know, nothing really changes. You know, if you just have an old way of thinking, because most of these people were elected in 1976 or
Right.
even older.
Wow.
So
Hold
and
on,
actually
Vance.
one of them just
Give me 2 seconds. I gotta grab this piece of paper. Hold on, yo, hold on.
all right.
All right, I'm back. It's a lot going on. Share this video if you're on this live right now, man. I need y'all to share this. It was skipping, but I knew why it was skipping, but now it's fixed. Okay, so you had these people who were elected so long ago who now still have these positions.
Yeah.
And you say it was hard going into that. It was difficult going into it.
Absolutely. I mean, right before I left, so we had one election in between my election in 2015 where I was actually got on the board.
Yeah.
And this last election in 2017.
Right.
This is the first time we've had pretty much no one that's been serving there for more than 12 years.
Right.
In the history of our park district.
Right.
We're talking about we're the 7th oldest park district in the state of Illinois.
Wow.
And we have never had, you know, such a new board.
Right.
You know, so we started bringing more programs into the park district.
Mm-hmm.
The previous board that I had in 2015, we tried to open the pool because I know you had that issue with the pool.
Right.
I try to figure out a way how can we actually get the pool open.
Right.
So what I thought about was how about we just let the citizens decide. We voted on it, and unfortunately it failed. Three commissioners voted no, so nothing actually happened.
It's crazy.
So because of that, we don't have a pool today. One thing I was working on was trying to get some type of some money coming from AbbVie, which is how we got the library redone.
Yeah.
That was $3 million
Yeah.
for the North Chicago Public Library, which I was on that board since I was 20. So I was the youngest library trustee in the nation at the age 20.
Hear what he said. The youngest library trustee in America. Hold on, man, because it's steady skipping, y'all. Hold on. Give me 2 seconds, man. I know I'm killing y'all. Hold up. Oh, it's not in. Talk to him, Vance. Talk to him. Let him know who you is. That's crazy.
So I'm Lake County Commissioner for District 14, so that's North Chicago, most of North Chicago, part of all of Park City, most part of Gurnee, and part of Waukegan as well.
Yeah.
So I have the southwest side of Waukegan and all of like Lakehurst, which is Fountain Square now.
Right.
And then I have all of Park City and Gurnee, which up to about 41, and my district goes up north is almost to Sunset and Waukegan.
Right.
So it's a really big district. It's about 34,000 residents, so it's larger than the city, smaller than the Park District, but it's a lot of moving parts.
Right.
We have over 24 different departments at the county, and most of those department heads are actually elected independent from the board itself.
Right.
So I serve on the Law and Judicial Committee. So we have the state's attorney, we have the public defender's office, the sheriff's department, all the judges that are elected in Lake County, the circuit court clerk, and the coroner's office as well. All that's under our purview. We help draft their budget and we approve it on as a whole.
Right.
Our Lake County budget, for example, is $500 million alone.
Wow.
And then if you include the forest preserve, it's another $78 million on top of that. And that's just Lake County government. That's not including all of your governments that you have locally.
Now, some people I'm confused too on the Lake County's responsibility, the border responsibilities. Just give me some ideas of what you guys kind of decide on, because I know cities are ran obviously independently, but what help do you guys do to cities? I guess as a board.
So for individual cities, it's a little bit different.
Yeah.
So most cities like North Chicago, Waukegan, they're home rule. Now, if you go to Western Lake County, they're not home rule, meaning they don't really rely on us as much.
Okay.
So North Chicago, Waukegan, they have their own independent housing authority that controls their own housing. Lake County Housing Authority is a kind of like a quasi-government agency where we, the board, vote on it, or we vote on their members, but we don't actually control any of their operations day to day.
Okay.
They have their own separate board. They determine that.
Right.
We also collect all property taxes for Lake County, which is about $7 billion.
Wow.
And then we disperse it out to all the different government agencies, your park districts, your libraries, school districts, and your city. What else? I mean, then we also, like I said, we control the jail under the sheriff's department. We have the coroner, so anyone that, there's no medical examiner for the actual county, that's all the coroner. So that's an independently elected person that handles all those things for us. And of course, we're the prosecutor as well with the state's attorney's office.
Right.
So I mean, we do a lot of different things, and also the health department, which is right down the street on Grand Avenue. So,
give me some hearts and likes, ladies and gentlemen. We got the stuff fixed. We flowing pretty cool now. I got my man's I was going to say Vance. Vance.
That doesn't say that in French.
Vance D. Wyatt is in the building right now. He's on the Lake County board. You call him commissioner. You can call him a
board member,
commissioner.
Whatever.
I want to go back to the North Chicago thing because it got under a lot of people's skin. A lot of people got mad at me. But the golf course itself is running at a deficit. Am I not correct when I said it? Okay.
So when I first ran in 2013, I was running. Of course, you run a year before the actual election. So I ran in 2012. That fiscal year, the budget itself said they were going to lose $1.26 million.
Right.
When I went to the board meeting following that, I guess somebody saw my website or whatever, and they said, "Oh, well, we're going to try to sue them." So I didn't know how to do
somebody
math.
on board.
On the board said I didn't know how to do math, even though I'm just reading what they said.
Right.
And I asked at the board meeting, how do you have $3 million, spend $4 million, and have a positive number?
Say it again.
how do you have $3 million and you spend $4 million and somehow have a positive number, have money
Where,
left over?
how in the hell, excuse my French, are they spending $4 million? How? How
I
is
mean,
that possible?
because we get money. There's money left over in the bank.
Okay.
So there's money that's left over, so you're able to spend some of those funds. What the other thing we do is we do fund swaps. So what happened way back in the day, back in the 1990s, so before we even were born.
Right.
What they
Well,
would
I was
do
born in
was
1988.
But okay.
I know what you're saying.
80s, 70s, all that.
Right,
so
right.
what they would do is they would take funds from, say, IMRF, which is our pension fund, or public liability, and they would swap the money into general fund
Right.
in order to cover losses somewhere else.
Right.
So
Okay, I
over a
get what you're
period of
saying.
years, there's a whole bunch of deficits.
Right.
Now the issue is the golf course doesn't make money anymore.
Right.
Which is, there's that money coming down, and then also these funds owe money to the golf course. So the money is going from, say, recreation, special recreation, or general fund back into golf course, which it should actually do because they do owe the golf course the money.
Right.
But the golf course is still losing money, so we're not even able to spend any money really as much as we should on programs because of
Right.
that. I mean, was it the last budget before I left? So I left right, and I left at in between the May and the June meeting.
Okay.
At the May meeting, we voted on our budget. We were going to move about roughly $200,000 to $300,000 from recreation over to the golf course.
Why?
That was to pay off debt that the recreation fund owed the golf course.
I'm
for so many
confused.
years.
I'll be honest with you, brother.
I know. I understand.
How in the hell? Now I'm cussing now. It's all one municipality, right? Or no?
We're one unit government.
Right.
We're unit government. So what it is that the golf course is an enterprise fund or a business. It's in a sense a business.
Right.
So it's supposed to operate as it's a business. So it's supposed to be
Right.
having a cash positive
Right.
every single year, not
Right.
a cash negative.
Right.
So what ended up happening was they were borrowing money from itself. It's like you taking money. So if you
Right,
you
right.
own rent, if you got to pay your rent, and then you got to pay your phone bill,
Right.
you taking money from your rent money to pay your phone bill.
Right.
It's the same principle. So
Okay.
all we're doing is we're paying back the money. But the issue is, and that's what I was saying, is we were losing money. We're on top of that. We're
Right.
losing money at the golf course.
Right.
That same year in 2012, where they were supposed to only lose 1.26 million, they lost 2.2 million.
Right.
So that's the bigger issue. Is they keep losing money and they kept spending more money.
Let me get
This
to
last
some,
year we
let
had
me
even
get to
more
some
people.
of these comments. Hold that thought, Vance. God dang. Dimples Fyerson says, "Hey Vance, thank you, sir, for your service." Taylor says hi.
Okay.
Taylor says, "Hey." Kristen says, "Awesome." She gives you that. EG, what's going on, EG? Vicky Brown says, attended North Chicago Community Night Out and noticed how large the field is where it was hosted and realized what a great place to have as a walking trail around the perimeter because I normally have to go walking in Waukegan or Libertyville. Is this something you could look into implementing? He's no longer on the Falls
So
Park
I'm not
district,
but
Yeah.
we did. So we have a park that's called Coles Park that's on 14th Street. That's next to
Coles Park.
was it the Marion Jones project?
Okay.
Part of our we got a plan actually we got a contract with Lake County Housing Authority for them to come on our property to put a detention pond there. We're going to get a brand new park at no cost to the park district.
When does that happen?
That's going to be the end of next year,
Okay.
early 2019.
Okay.
So what it's going to have is there's going to be an actual trail around that park. Along that trail, there's going to be workout equipment, outdoor workout equipment
Wow.
that you can be able to do
Let's do.
throughout the year.
Yeah.
You can use it during the winter or the summer.
Yeah.
And there's going to be actually playground equipment there as well. And in the center of that park will be a detention pond. It's similar to walking over at the Greenbelt.
Tell me where that is again. I'm trying to imagine
That's
where that is.
14th. You know where First Baptist is in North Chicago?
Yeah, yeah.
So it's
okay,
next.
right
It's
there.
right next to there.
Okay,
so
yeah. Where that thing used to be.
yeah,
the
you said
over thing. Yeah,
that,
yeah, yeah.
all that. So it's not going to be that far. It's not going to be that close to the street.
It'll be
It's going to
back.
be closer to Manchester Nose.
Oh, okay, okay.
So it's going to be a smaller park, but
Yeah.
that's kind of the trade-off we got to get $500,000 park over there.
That's
So-
dope. That's dope. That's good information. You know, David Hood, what's going on? Sierra Wade, Gregory Dorn, what's up? Tanya Donnelly, all the people checked in right now. Share this video if you're on this live right now. And I do want to get into a few of the things that we have on your newsletter here. For those who don't know what's going on, I'm gonna try to give it. I'm gonna spot some of it, ladies and gentlemen. Mosquito test positive for West Nile virus, Gospel Fest,
Yep.
and more. Obviously the flooding came through, which was pretty tough for some people and some families. What did you guys do? Was there some certain things that you guys had to implement while that flood came?
So,
did you participate?
what we
Did you
did-
anticipate that happening?
So
like
I was
that?
actually flying out the day of the flood.
Yeah.
So I was actually here. I was actually My power was out that Wednesday night, and I actually received an email from the chairman of the board, and we declared a state of emergency that night.
Right.
There. But the thing is we only have so much funds that the county can spend for that. Which isn't much, and how many people lost their homes. There's no way we're going to actually be able to be able to fix everyone's house. So the state did declare a state of emergency for us. However, right now we're working to trying to get FEMA, the federal government, to actually declare a state of emergency. We're asking everybody to go on the Lake County's website, lakecountyil.gov, in order to just report that you had flooding, even if it's just 1 or 2 inches.
And that's
report
wherever that flooding is.
Wherever it is.
Okay.
Because we have some people that they can go back in their house, but they may have lost a water heater, or they might have lost their furnace or something. But we need to have those things reported.
Even that mildew could affect the household.
Well, that mildew can turn into mold, and then now you have asthma problems and breathing problems and all that, and it leads to a whole bunch of other issues. So we need to get all that reported.
And they can get on lakecounty.com.
lakecountyil.gov.
Okay.
And there's actually information in regards to the Red Cross, which will provide free cleanup equipment.
Wow.
So if you need cleaning supplies, the Red Cross will do that. They have been walking North Chicago, knocking on doors, and actually taking some of these reports.
Yeah.
But not enough people in North Chicago ever do report this. And it's been an issue, which is part of the reason why we don't get as much money as some of the other communities. And my biggest thing is trying to make sure we get our fair share of money in North Chicago, Waukegan, and Park City, because you'll see some of that money go to Lake Bluff, Lake Forest, and even go out further west, where they may not need the money. We have, in North Chicago, we have the lowest or poorest, some of the poorest people in North Chicago and Waukegan.
Yeah.
And then if you go to Lake Forest, just not even 5 miles away, you have the CEO of Abbott Labs that live down the street from me.
Wow.
So that's just the financial disparity between just the communities in Lake County itself, especially since we're the 47th richest in the nation. So
I heard what he said. What ideas do you have to get people to be more involved in reporting stuff, or even just letting people know that they're there? Because it seems like it's almost a census, like the census. We need to know who's there so we can know what we need to account for. So what can you do differently or change, or do you have any ideas on that?
So one thing is, everyone that has a computer, I have been on Facebook trying to get that information. I've even sponsored ads out of my own pocket to try to get people to just report it. I've been getting even phone calls from people around Grays Lake, which I do not represent in any shape or form. But I'm still getting phone calls from people out there just trying to get information on how they can actually get some type of services. The other thing I've been doing is actually knocking on people's doors, asking them if they have any flooding issues, and taking a report. I was just walking in Park City the day I got back from California. And I've been just knocking on doors ever since, just trying to get the word out there to report that. I was at the Third Ward meeting just this past Saturday, Nicasa's event, and then I'm also going to have a booth was it 2 weeks from now at the Waukegan back to school fair, just trying to make sure we get those reports in.
Absolutely.
I'll be in community days. I don't have a booth, but that is something I'll be even talking about even there.
Okay. Absolutely. You're on the ball, brother. You're on the ball.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Going back, because we always got to go back to it. Do you feel that people that are involved in North Chicago, Falls Park, you don't think that they have any ill will or ill intent? Do you think that they're just cruising through, believing that the bare minimum is enough? Or is it that much of a financial crisis where they cannot do what everybody wants them to do? So it's a combination of both.
Okay.
So if we do not solve the financial issue at the golf course, the park district will cease to exist, period. There is no ifs, ands,
Say it
or buts
again
about
for him.
that.
Say it again.
If we do not solve our financial issue at the golf course, we will eventually cease to exist. How soon that will be, that's a question.
Yeah.
That's the real question is, will it be 5 years? Will it be 10 years? That's something even our auditors have said, and I've been saying that before I even took office. We get in a sense a special report that kind of spells out everything, saying if you don't do this, this will happen.
Right.
That's the report that the board gets.
Right.
There's the full report goes to the entire community, and I was just able to ascertain that just from the public report. And
wow.
We have no choice but to solve that financial issue. And if we don't,
how do you solve that? Do you give it to an outside entity and let them run it?
So that was one of the proposals I was bringing up.
Okay.
There's different ways you can outsource. So you can outsource golf operations, you can outsource maintenance of the golf course, or you can outsource your food and beverage.
Okay.
What we were looking at was just our operations.
Okay.
We were going to keep, at least when I was there, we were looking to keep our maintenance and keep our food and beverage.
Right.
we kind of got in trouble in regards to, or I shouldn't say in trouble, we were in the newspaper in regards to our video gaming.
Okay.
So that's one thing that we actually do make money off of at the golf course.
Right.
So in order to keep that, you have to keep food and beverage, in a sense, have a liquor license
Right.
in order to have that.
Right.
So that was the reason why we were going to keep that, so we can have those amount of money coming in. We were one of the first park districts to get it. That was before I got on the board,
Mm-hmm.
but we also made the most money than any other park district
Right.
on video gaming.
Right.
This is a poor community.
Right.
We don't have the money to really to spend that kind of money, but at least it is staying within the community.
Yeah.
That was the one reason I did vote to keep it, because we need some revenue coming in.
Some people are against it because
Yeah.
it obviously tears in some people's minds. They're spending money that they don't have to, wishing on a star
Yep.
to get it back or get more than that. So I
Exactly.
get what you're saying. But if it is bringing in money to something that is running at a deficit, are we taking all the money we can get? You know what I mean? At this point.
Well, the other thing we can do is also, which we did do, we cut back on our food portions, and then we also increased prices as well. So those things were going to be happening. We're going to do those again, and also increase our prices for all of our golfing.
Right.
Because most of the people that golf there aren't even from North Chicago. Most of them are non-residents.
And it's the cheapest place to golf is what I'm hearing. Yeah.
Yeah, it's one of the cheapest places locally to golf. I mean, of course, there's some other places that are cheaper.
Right.
You have to drive there, though.
Right.
But for the clientele that's around us, Lake Bluff, Lake Forest, they tend to like to
They'll
golf
come
more. They're going to come to North Chicago.
Is it not a high volume of those people coming, or is it just spits and spats of those people coming, and that's why it's running at that point? Or does a tournament need to happen at North Chicago to bring in that drawback or whatever? Maybe
So one thing I was
never
looking at
existed.
was having a golf outing,
Right.
Or not a golf outing, but a golf tournament.
Right.
Illinois Association of Park Districts have golf outings on a regular basis. So one of the things I was looking at is, can we approach to get some of these golf outings? We had one back in 2012.
Yeah.
But since then we haven't had one.
And how did that? Was that successful? And
I mean, we do make more money off golf outings. And whenever you have a golf outing, you pretty much make more money because they're going to buy a slot. They're going to buy a larger chunk of rounds of golf versus just some random person coming in saying I want to play some golf. So you would prefer to have golf outings.
Right.
But the issue is then you have people that live in the community that do golf, because we do have about 100 or 200 people that do golf in North Chicago. But
Really?
the thing is, we
that.
do.
Wow.
I mean, but the thing is that they typically only golf on the weekends, which is even a cheaper rate than it is during the week.
Wow.
We have the mayor golfs, of course, a few of the aldermen golf. There's some people that live in the community that do golf.
Right.
The issue is we don't have as many as we should. But
is it the relinquishing of that is the problem? Is that the problem? Say, we can do it, we got it. We don't need anyone else to do it. And they're saying, we'll figure it out, or they're saying that we want to fix it.
You mean a private company?
No, the people that's doing it now, whoever's running it now.
I mean, the people that run it now are park district employees, so they actually have, it's kind of a vested interest. It's like as if if your cousin works for the park district,
right,
or works for a company that you're over,
right.
Are you more inclined to let them go because you want to bring a private company in there, or are you going to try to give them a chance because you know them?
Right.
You went to school with them.
Right.
It's just like as if you went to school with the person that they're trying their best, but
right.
You have to find a healthy medium in between that.
Right.
One thing you could do, because we did this at the library, we bring in a private company to do our part-time employees. No one lost their job. We just flipped them over to the new private company.
Right. Oh, like
you can do
they
that.
did that at North Chicago High School too. With
Exactly. You can
security and some.
You
some
can
of
do
the
that.
other stuff.
I mean, the thing is you just have to work that into your contract.
Right.
And then that's how we got with the housing authority. That's how we got the free park. Because originally the contract they sent to us didn't have that in there. So I held it up saying, no, we're not going to vote on this until you guys put that in the contract.
Right. We got a comment here. Should have put together volunteers to canvass the neighborhood, especially our seniors that are not in the internet or on cell phones. Mr.
Absolutely.
Frierson says that. David Hood says, Vance is the man. Vote Vance for Lake County Commissioner. Vance, tell them how you help the library. Absolutely. We'll get into that a little bit more. Anthony Coleman says, can people in North Chicago vote for you?
Yeah,
I'm sure they can. Yeah.
Yeah. So anyone. So my district is pretty much from Buckley Avenue or Buckley Road over to 14th Street.
Right.
So on the other side of 14th Street, there's Commissioner Cunningham. On the other side of Buckley, depending on what part you're talking about on that side, Commissioner Hart, who's from Lake Bluff, she represents that portion of North Chicago.
Okay. Anthony, David says they're old and stuck in their ways. No one on the board is concerned about the youth. David Hood says again, Anthony Coleman and cat is out the bag. Unity for Vance. Miss Fryson says no more all-you-can-eat fish fry on Fridays. Yeah, you got to cut back.
I mean, we've been cutting back at least while I was there. You know, I don't know. I haven't been to the board meeting on a regular basis now that I'm off. So I don't really know what's going on now.
Right.
But I can just speak to the 2 years I was there. I was elected in 2015.
Yeah.
And then someone actually approached me to apply for the Lake County board position.
Yeah.
I decided to apply after enough people asked me to, and then sure enough, I got pulled into the seat.
Absolutely, which is dope.
Yeah.
A longer comment. Anthony Coleman says, I swear finally the truth about our Falls Park district without sugarcoating the thing. Have to know the truth in order for the community to move forward. Vote Vance, Warhawk alumni with a master's degree. The truth. Anthony says, is there nepotism at Falls Park? Did you feel that was a good or bad thing? Anthony Coleman asks you.
So there is a number of there's always been employees that have been related to the board. Mm-hmm. My father, for instance, worked for the park district back when I was a kid. Mm-hmm. I wasn't on the board at the time, so if hypothetically I ran for the board and he was still there, technically that would be considered nepotism.
Right.
There are some individuals that work for the park district prior to their family member getting on the board, and some, that it was the opposite, where they were on the board and their family member got hired at the park district.
Yeah.
Commissioners have no control in no direct hiring of anyone below the executive director. Mm-hmm. That's up to the executive director. Mm-hmm. We only hire and fire the executive director. We do his or her review every single year. So we set his or her goals every year. We set her salary every single year. Mm-hmm. That's up to us. Right. That's the only employee that reports directly to the board.
Right.
In previous years, some board members, in a sense, overstepped their boundaries, but it's still up to the executive director.
Right.
If the executive director doesn't agree with it, or any other staff person doesn't agree with it, they're able to they don't have to oblige. Mm. So
let me ask you a hard question, brother, and this is going to be a hard question. Does these examples and prior North Chicago School Board, when it was full of us, meaning us, I mean us, does these scenarios kind of prove that we don't be knowing what the hell we doing sometimes? Because I'm and this may sound crazy to some of y'all, but the way it looks, and this is only perception, my people, it looks like we just want to be in charge of some shit. I'm cussing, and we don't want to really figure out how to do it. That's the part that I'm kind of getting upset about, is because let's look at you. You went to school. We graduated the same year in high school. You took a collegiate route, which got you where you at, and I took a whole another route, which got me doing this type of stuff. But I say that example because you knew what you wanted to do. You went and did it. You're educated enough to know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah.
Somebody else has been more experienced probably in the position, but haven't proved to change anything in that position for this long. So the question I ask to you, my brother, should all of these people just be done away with at this point, or are there specs in there that's...
I mean, are you talking about in regards to the board? All the different boards that we have?
No.
We have multiple boards.
Falls Park board. That's what I'm talking about. Falls Park.
So from when I was there, 2 of the board members were going to be retiring at the end of their term. So there would be one in 2019 and one in 2021, which was when my seat was up. Okay. So we're elected to 6-year terms there.
Oh,
okay, a full term is 6 years
there.
I didn't know that. Wow. So we're the only one that's in the city of North Chicago that's a 6-year term.
Right.
So I was, pretty much most of the board would have been gone by the end of my term.
Right.
My goal was to have our own rec center, just like over in Waukegan, to have the field house. I was trying to get one in North Chicago as well, but under Falls Park.
Right.
We can have that now. I mean, it's not the issue. What we need to do is have people that's willing to step outside of their normal day-to-day operations as a commissioner and look for grants. For instance, Shields Township. We had never received in North Chicago money from Shields Township for our seniors. One thing I did was I went to Shields Township board and said, North Chicago has not received any money. I worked with the former trustee and former supervisor there. Said we need some money.
Yeah.
We got some money coming in. the same amount of money that they give to Lake Bluff, Lake Forest, which they definitely don't need. I say they don't really need the money because Lake Forest, their budget, we can compare Falls Park to North Chicago's budget. Lake Forest's budget is $8.9 million. Ours is $4 million, same year.
Yeah.
So there's a big difference. And they serve, I think, only 20,000 residents versus Falls Park that has part of Waukegan, part of Lake Bluff, and most of North Chicago. That's 50,000 residents right there alone. And we have to represent more people with less money. With half the money that they have. Right. So, I mean, the biggest thing is we just need more money coming in. We have the tennis courts that's supposed to be coming in. I had found a grant when I went to one of those conferences, to get half of it covered. The splash pad that we're going to be doing, that's the swimming pool that's
Is that still in motion? I know we had some questions about that being still happening.
So we didn't have a budget. So I was on the board, and I actually made the motion to pull back to accept that bid. And the reason for that was because if we spent that money, all of our capital projects, so we had about $600,000 of money that was set aside for capital. Yeah, it would have wiped out most of that. It would have been like about $30,000 to $40,000 left. Wow. So and that was only because we don't know when the state was going to give us our money. We didn't know when they were going to get a budget. Right. Now they have a budget, so the park district would be. They can just go back out for bid and just bring it back up and then have it finished. It was originally going to be done by June 1st. That was this year. Yeah. We're past June. And that part of that was because of the state. Right. The state didn't actually approve their budget until I think June 30th. So we didn't really know. We couldn't wait on the state. So we just pulled that back to do all of our other smaller projects that we had. One of them is the tennis court, of course.
Where's that at? Where's the tennis court?
Tennis court is actually in Waukegan at Twin City.
Oh yeah, Twin City.
So that's actually Falls Park's park district. So everything from 10th Street. All the way, even if it's in Waukegan, all the way back into Lake Bluff is part of North Chicago. Is a part of Falls Park. Okay. And actually, the park district. There's a reason why people don't know why it's North Chicago Park District versus Falls Park District. Falls Park was established before North Chicago was even a town. Wow. So North Chicago was originally called South Waukegan. So I guess there's somebody named Falls. That's why they named it after him or her, and that's why it's named Falls Park. We were established in 1907. So this year, Community Days on Friday, there's going to be a movie in a park, and that's something that the park district's putting on its own to celebrate its 110 years, and it's also going to be sponsoring the fireworks or co-sponsoring, I should say.
I don't. And we're going to close it out because I still want to talk to you a little bit more. I don't know if you got a few more minutes for me, but. There's they suck at promo. No, I'm serious, man. Whoever, and I hope you're watching, and this is no offense to anyone. I don't want to take it personal, but promotion and marketing is what I do. Falls Park District, whoever is in charge of making flyers, and whoever is in charge of letting the community know what's going on, they need a new person doing it, or they need to be trained differently. With the age of social media and hard copy promo on street teaming it's no way. I seen the North Chicago, a Miss North Chicago pageant flyer. Yeah. And I said, what the hell is this? What is this? No girl is going to be on this. No girl is going to want to do that.
So that particular program is not being, from my understanding, is not directly being sponsored by the park district. Okay. It's in conjunction with the park district. Okay. A separate or association that's doing that. I don't know the exact specifics because I'm no longer there. Yeah. But in regards to promotion for the park district, one thing I was looking at doing this year was trying to find somewhere in the budget, which we already are in the deficit. Right. Find somewhere we can actually cut out some money so we can actually hire someone to just do our marketing. Right. That was what I was looking at doing.
I'll do it for free. No, I'm not joking. Yeah. I will make the flyers and I will push I'm so passionate. And I will push them. I will have my whole team push it. I will make the flyers. I will print. If I got to pay for the printing, put it on the dock, Los. Everybody on the board, if you're watching this on the low, Carlos Smith, I'm telling you right now that I will do it because people don't know, bro. Yeah, I know. People don't be knowing what the hell going on, like.
And the other thing is I know you brought up the Facebook pages.
Yeah.
So we have 3 Facebook pages. So you were referring to our old one.
Okay.
And the reason why is because we had some legal problems back in the day. Mm-hmm. One person had control over one park or one Facebook page, and somebody else had control over another one.
Right.
one person left the district, we couldn't get access. What I was looking at doing was trying to get access to the original one, which was that likes page that only had like 100 or like 50 or 100 people on it, and move everyone from our current one over to that one, because the current one is like a friends page, so it's like a personal page. You have to add them as a friend, but it caps you at 5,000 people.
Right.
So we're trying to get more people into the likes page, and that was one thing I was looking at, seeing if we could work with Facebook, say email them, call them or something, try to get access to that page back, because we need that Facebook page so we can actually promote our events. Because if you notice, most of those pages, what was on that page stopped about sometime in 2013, 2014.
Yeah.
I'm not going to name any names because that was legal, litigation and everything. But that particular person left the park district or was no longer with the park district, so that's why we didn't have access to that page.
Right. Okay, that clears that part.
Yeah. Like I said, that was something I was working on, because we also have the golf course has their own page as well. And, there's only so much we can do really within, because we have the Foss Park golf course side, and then we also have the park district itself side. Yeah. That's just how things are.
So a few more questions, brother, because I'm so interested in knowing the inside stuff. The pool, to get the pool open, somebody would have to pay, or we would have to get money, approximately about $3.5 million to get a new pool.
So $3.5 million would make it enclosed. And that's just a rough estimate. That's based on when I went to a conference and talking to someone, giving them pretty much they can look up your park district, because it's open.
Yeah,
they can just look at Google Maps, figure out the specifications based off of it, and give you a rough estimate. With the tennis, those numbers, it could be a little bit higher, it could be a little bit lower, but that's just a rough estimate of how much it's going to be.
Right.
One thing I was looking at doing was trying to get us a master plan for the entire park district, which would actually include that in it. Right. So you would get more hard numbers than just rough estimates of it.
Right.
And that would be every enhancement we would want to do to the park district. Now, I'm not there anymore, so that's on the current board to do that now. That's not really on me to focus on.
How much, and this will be my last question, how much control do you have, or if any, to affect Foss Park's board by being a Lake County board member? Or is it slight, or could they listen to what you have to say?
I am a citizen just like you are.
Right.
So they can pretty much tell me to
go to hell.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's not really. But I do have a bigger bully public than them. That's the only difference. Outside of that, they can just tell me to be quiet.
Right,
exactly.
Right.
But me being served on that board, I think what I say has a little bit more to a little bit more. They're more likely to listen to me versus just somebody off the street talking to them.
Right.
So.
Well, I might run. If I run, it's going to be a movie. I'm telling you that right now. It's going to be so many people voting, y'all going to have to let me up in there. No, but it's going down. You got anything else you want to let the people know about, man?
So right now, I actually do have to run for re-election.
I
just got appointed. Was it 10? Today actually yesterday makes 10 weeks now. So I do have to run in March of 2018, which I will need support. I will be marching in the parade this Saturday for North Chicago, and the next Sunday in Gurney's parade. So I do need as many people to come out and support me, to vote for me, because there's a lot of changes that need to happen in the community. And just because I'm on the Lake County board side doesn't mean I'm not going to still lobby for Foss Park, Waukegan Park District, all the different park districts that I do represent, because I do have 4 different communities that I'm still responsible for. So that's my biggest thing right now, is just trying to make sure that I can serve all the citizens that I represent, and make sure everything is taken care of for them. And even if it's not my personal purview, put them into contact with somebody that can actually assist them.
Absolutely. Anthony Coleman says, when can we vote for you as Lake County Commissioner? And in simple terms, how can you help our community if our community votes for you? I don't know if you could.
So one thing right now, there's North Chicago's trying to do their Sheridan Crossings project. Foss Park is, while I was there, we were trying to actually rebate taxes back to the potential movie theater and restaurants that were going there.
Yeah.
Lake County can do the same thing. We also have an economic development team on Lake County side. That's Lake County Partners. That's all the big large companies within Lake County. So that's Abbott, Walgreens. You have, I'm trying to get CVS, even though it's technically not in Lake County because that's where I work, a part of it. And just, use those avenues to bring more businesses into North Chicago, especially with the internet. We have Amazon coming.
Right.
There's a lot more internet companies that we could try to bring right here in North Chicago and get people trained for those jobs. We have workforce development, and even at the library, we have programming classes through our website.
Yes.
So, and these are things that are available in the community that most people don't even know about.
It's crazy. Do some research, people. It's the boy Lo's crazy. If you do better, you do better. You too. Swear this is the Crazy Ride Show. Send out my man Vance, Wyatt in the building. Class 2000. We got 10-year anniversary coming up, brother. It's gonna be crazy.
Yeah, next year.
Wow.
So make sure I win re-election so I can.
There you go. There you go. We out of here. So if you do better, you do better. You too. Swear this is my man's Vance, Wyatt coming through. Check out Falls Park. What is the new Facebook page? You know the name?
It's just Falls Park District.
Falls Park District.
It's a friends page, so you just can add them as a friend, and then they post all their flyers on there.
Absolutely.
And that's the current one until whatever happens with the new one.
Flames football is coming up. You got the Miss North Chicago pageant coming up. Friday, you got the movie in the park, ladies and gentlemen. So if you're a community day, it is Saturday and Sunday. Yep. But the Falls Park has took that Friday and made it their movie night. So if you live in North Chicago and you want to come out and watch a good movie, come on and watch. I don't know what movie they're showing. You know what movie?
Smile, I think is.
Smile. Shout out to Smile
for the kids. So.
Absolutely. It's the boy Lo's crazy. I'm out of here. Y'all be good.
Bring your bitch ass up.
Yeah.
Put him in the Carpet Squad way. I'm over here at the Crazy Ride Show, man. Tune in. Be lost. You hear me? If you ain't here,